Hello everyone and welcome back to my kitchen. So I am Charisma, the Pampered Chef crazy lady, or the crazy Pampered Chef lady. So I just wanted to welcome you all back to my kitchen. It's supposed to be a beautiful day out today. Right now it's a little overcast, but I think the sun's supposed to come out and brighten all our spirits and all our moods. I'm sure that a lot of you are just looking for a break from not the pandemic as well as all the rioting and looting and things going on. So you can just hang out with me for a little while as we decide what to do with some of the expiring fruits that I've had laying around my kitchen. It's driving me crazy. So I'm like, that's it. We're making some banana bread. But I'm going to make my carrot cake banana bread. Bella was just down here and she goes, Mom, I like your banana pumpkin chocolate chip one's better. I'm like, well, find the recipe and I'll make those too because I have 5. In my house, these are the soon to be expiring bananas. Bella's the only one that likes them when they're yellow on the tinge of the brown inside. And the rest of us like them a little more green. So I like them a little firm. And then I have a huge bowl of apples that are just starting to get a little soft. So we're going to go and I thought that my recipe for the banana bread called for applesauce. And I was like, oh good, I have one more jar of homemade applesauce, but I couldn't find it. It's probably somewhere in the pantry, which needs cleaning out again, but I'm like, not even going to look. I'm like, I have tons of apples. We're going to whip up some applesauce too while we're here. So why not? So hang out with me and let's get cooking. So first of all, I've got my carrot cake banana bread is not a Pampered Chef recipe. I don't know where I found it. It looks like I found it here. It says chocolatecoveredkatie.com. So I will share this all with you. I don't think I've made it before live, but we're going to go ahead and make it today. First things first, we're going to preheat our oven to 350 degrees. I can do that and then turn my oven light on. That's just something I started when my kids were little. When you turn the oven on, you turn the oven light on, and that always lets them know when it's hot. And that way I know too when it hasn't been turned off. Just one of those things that drives me crazy. And I'm walking around and it's like, should I turn the oven off now? Yeah, I think I will. So anyway, and then this is supposed to be made in a 9 by 5 pan. But I'm going to make it because I love my little 2 bites. So I'm going to make it in the 2 bite brownie pan. I just love making those. And they're just the perfect size. You can just pop them in your mouth and go. So that's what we're going to do. And I just already sprayed it with some spray. So there we go. We're going to combine our dry ingredients in a bowl, if desired. Well, I guess it's not if desired, you can combine your dry ingredients in a bowl. If desired, you can add a 1/2 cup of crushed walnuts or a handful of shredded coconut. As much as I would love to add that handful of shredded coconut, Bella doesn't like it. So we'll leave out the coconuts, and nobody likes the walnuts in it in our house, so we're going to leave those out as too. So for now, we're going to go ahead and whisk our liquid ingredients. Well, first we're going to start with our 1.5 cups of mashed overripe bananas. So I've got my small batter bowl, and I'm just going to go ahead and, whoo, baby, this one is soft. This one's a little overripe. Oh gosh, as you're trying to peel it, it just mooshes. You know that's a good overripe banana, right? Let's see. Just join me in my giggles as the banana peel is just mooshing away. So I don't know why, but I always think of when I'm doing these bananas, and my trash can's right here on the floor. So just in case you were wondering why I'm just throwing my banana peels on the floor. So bananas, for some reason, I always think of one of our favorite shows around here to watch is Naked and Afraid. And I always joke that I'm going to be on there. There's no chance in the world that I will ever be on that show. First of all, I don't want to be naked outside. And second of all, I love being outside. There's bugs and critters and things like that. And then my husband's like, well, if I could go with shoes and underwear, I'd be fine. Him. Because he can't stand to be barefoot. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. I'm not a shoe lover, so I would be fine on that aspect, but just the whole like outdoors part would not sustain me. But anyway, back to what I was saying about the bananas. That always reminds me of that show, just because every once in a while they're somewhere that has plantains and they have bananas. And I didn't realize, because I told you I like my bananas a little green. Well, yeah, if you eat them and they're not ripe yet, it's going to give you some bad tummy problems. So anyway, so I'm just mashing my bananas. Another great use for your mix and chop here. And we needed, what did I say, 1.5 cups. This is really, I'm trying to see my cup markings, because this is a 4-cup bowl, and I can't find my 4 cups, 3 cups, 2 cups. So really, just these 2 bananas, we're really at 1.5 cups. So I thought it was going to take 3. So Bella might get our wish. I might be making some banana pumpkin chocolate chip muffins later, because I think it calls for 3 bananas, which those are really good too. So this is just a little healthy way to kind of, you know, enjoy some little muffins and be happy. So I'm still confused on how you're whisking your liquid ingredients, including your carrots and bananas. Well, I'm starting with these. Maybe I should have started with my other stuff. You're not going to go to whisking there. I'm just sorry to tell you. But I am going to pop this in the sink now. Those are pretty good and mashed. Next, we are going to need a 1/2 cup of finely shredded carrots. Well, the first time I made this, I actually had a giant carrot from one of the produce boxes. Well, I don't have my giant carrot anymore, but I do have some matchstick carrots. And they're great in a salad, but they're also going to work. So we need a 1/2 cup of those. Pop them in there. And we are going to need a 1/2 cup of honey, a 1/4 cup of milk, a 1/4 cup of oil, or additional milk. What? I know it, right? So I'm going to grab my milk. I'm going to grab my oil. So uno momento. I'm sorry I didn't have those out. I think this is where you could probably substitute. What was I saying? You could probably substitute. Sorry, you guys got a great view of the back side of my knife block. But anyway, you could probably substitute applesauce for the oil. We're going to go ahead and just add oil and milk, because I haven't tried it with just double milk. There it is. Like, where is my measuring cup? Good golly, Miss Molly. I set it over there because I started getting out the ingredients for the applesauce too. When I decided all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, we're going to do that. So 1/4 cup of milk. There is a reason why I'm adding my liquids at this point and skipping that honey, which you will see in just a second. So 1/4 cup of oil. And I am just using canola oil because that's what I have. And I also need to find something to do with these sweet potatoes over here. Oh my gosh. We might be having sweet potatoes for dinner, because Tony is smoking a pork butt. 1/2 cup of honey. So there we go. So with the mix and measure-alls, I think it's just a measure-all, I don't know. There's actually a dry side is the red side, and so you're just going to push this down to the 1/2 cup mark, and this is perfect for honey. I took the little lid off, but I never cut the honey open. So we're just going to pop that lid all the way off because we know we need 1/2 cup. This is the best way to measure honey in the world. Honey or peanut butter or Crisco or anything that's going to be kind of ooey and gooey, those things that you hate to scoop out of your measuring cups. Looks like Mama Bear needs to put honey back on the list. Because this, look at that, suckers. That is right up to the line. perfection. I've almost got it to the brim. Remember those commercials? Fill it to the rim with brim. It was brim coffee. So, so there it is, right at the brim, right at the rim. Just grab my spatula, and now I'm just gonna pop that. So I push that in, and look, it all comes out beautiful, and you just scrape it off clean. Voila! I know, it's pretty amazing. You guys are flabbergasted and excited, and everybody needs one of those. I've got it in both sizes. Well, and I think it comes in 3 sizes. There could be a mini as well. I have it in the small, which is a 1 cup, and I have it in the regular size, which is your 2 cup. I use that thing all the time. Just love it. It's so handy. All right, so now I've got my banana, my carrot, my honey, my milk, my oil, and I need 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Teaspoons. Uno. And oh my gosh, you guys, this is my Mexican vanilla. Yum, delicious. I just feel like it's going so fast. It's okay. I'll have to go back and get more. So there's my 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And we're gonna whisk this right up. Some of us might whisk it with a spatula. Well, that is really liquidy. So hang on. Hold tight, friends. We'll get the whisk. We'll do an actual little whiskey woo. And we'll just set my spatula right here on my spoon rest. We're gonna whisk. Because whisking it is actually going to get those, it's just gonna really stir up those flavors a little bit better than I could stir them with the spatula. So I think the oil and the milk, all that, just made it really liquidy for us. So perfection. Ooh, and our oven's ready, and it's like, come on, people. Well, we didn't measure our dry goods yet. Let's go ahead and do that. We need 2 cups of white spelt or oat flour. You can use whatever makes you happiest. I happen to have white flour, so that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to go ahead and use my 1/2 cup here because it fits nicely in there. So I'm going to need 1, 2 equals 1 cup, 1 1/2. And now we are at 3 cups, 3 cups, 2 cups of flour. And we need, okay, so that can go right over here. We need our measuring spoons. We need our 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Oh my goodness gracious. We're gonna, because, now we're gonna use our 1/2 because I already dirtied the 1 and we're put it in there. So we're gonna use 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So we're gonna use 2 1/2. Uno, dos. Oh, 3/4. So we can use our 1/2 and 1/4 of our baking powder and 3/4 of our salt. So we're gonna add 1/4 and 1/2 for our 3/4 of salt. And we need baking powder. Always double check that you don't get your baking powder and your baking sodas mixed up. So we need 1/2. Whoops! Wow, that was fun. And 1/4 of our baking powder. We skipped over. We need 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and an optional 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg. Well, I happen to have our cinnamon plus spice blend. You know, sponsored by Pampered Chef. And so we're going to add 1 teaspoon of it for our cinnamon. 1/2. And 1/2 is 1. And then our optional 1/8. Guess who happens to have a 1/8 teaspoon? Me, because I am using my Pampered Chef measuring spoons. So then I didn't need the nutmeg and the cinnamon. I just used the spice blend. Yum-a-lish. All right, and that is everything in here. So now we can just combine our wet ingredients to our dry. And this is where I'm going to use my spatch, or also known as my mix and scrape, because I prefer the mix and scrapes because they've got that little divot in them, and I just think that really helps versus just a flat spatula. You use whatever you are most comfortable with, whatever you like. I heard that my brother Jay really prefers the flat one. He doesn't like these. I don't know. I don't get it. You use what makes you happy. So we are going to just pour the wet into the dry and stir to form a batter. And then we're going to smooth into a prepared pan. Or we are going to use our medium scoop, cookie scoop. And we're going to scoop them right into our 2-bite pan. Now, the last time, I should have doubled this recipe because, you can make these and then just freeze them. And the last time I actually had to make, I had just a little more than enough to make one pan. So I had to find something else to put the others in. So anyway, blah, 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 blah. I digress. So we're going to go ahead and scoop these into the pan. I'm sorry I don't have the magic of the TikTok and the magic of because you guys get to watch this stuff live. And so we don't have the beauty of the fast forward option. So I can be like, okay, now you put it in here and then boom, it's mixed. Boom, it's in the pan. You guys actually get to watch me scoop this. What did I have? 6 times, 24 times. And you guys get to listen to me and my silly stories. And, I think that's just the fun part. And if you guys make comments, sometimes I can see them. I don't know why. Sometimes Facebook hides them. And I think by adding carrots and the banana. So the carrots are going to add that extra sweetness. And it kind of makes it seem like you're having a little healthy treat. If you were finally shredding those carrots, you could actually use the microplane, or I would use, the microplanes shredders. Don't use the fine, but use the coarse shredder. That is perfect. I use that when I actually shredded my carrot. It does an amazing job, but if you're using these, you are going to probably have some bigger chunks of carrots sticking out and going in. Look at them. Ah! It's, kind of alien looking. I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay not to be perfect. And it's okay just to hang out and watch your besties cook over the internet. And did you catch that? You guys are like, my besties. One day I'll grow up and I'll have real friends. But I'm just kidding. I do have real friends. Those of you that are watching. And you are my friends. Oh my gosh, this is, okay, so wowza. Probably a little overfull, I don't know, because I have just a tiny bit left over, and I'm just going to fill these wells to the max, because these are going to be perfect. And we'll scrape down the sides a little, and go from there. Okay, so I will tell you that I am not, well, I kind of am, just because I'm a hermit, or self-quarantining, because I was at the lake. So I'm not at the Lake of the Ozarks. I wasn't there over Memorial Day weekend, but we did go there for a few days after the weekend, and it was amazing. It was just so fun just to be away. Didn't watch TV, didn't watch the news. I did watch enough to know about all the people at the lake that were going crazy, but that wasn't us. We did go out to Frank and Louie's one day, and it was empty because it was, the middle of the week after Labor Day or Memorial Day weekend. Just cleaning up the edges. Okay, we're going to pop these guys in the oven I'm going to put them in for about 12 minutes, and then we'll check them and go from there. While they're in the oven, we can chop some apples. I'm going to move that stuff over here so you don't have to flip around and move, because easy peasy. What we need is, it says 3 pounds of apples cored and chopped. So that's what we're going to work on. I don't know how much 3 pounds is, so I did get out my scale. And this recipe, so look at all these apples. I'm telling you, it's apples and it's oranges, but they're there. And it's like, oh my goodness. So I'm going to grab another bowl just to put our apples in. Hope you guys, sorry, but I'm kind of hoping you could not see in my cabinet because they're like falling out crazy everywhere. This is my big measure all cup. So we're going to need that because we're going to have to add liquid at some point. So I've got out the, the big bowl. Sorry, my counter's getting flat. Let me put the milk away. Talk amongst yourselves, my friends. All right, so I'm back. This recipe is in the Deluxe Cooking Blender Guide. So the cooking guide with the Deluxe Cooking Blender, because we are going to make this in the blender. So applesauce is under the jams. So there's a jam setting, and then applesauce is right in here. So what it says is basically, with your directions, the first stage, you're going to put your ingredients in order from left to right. 1/4 cup of water, and then 3 pounds of apples cored and chopped. Doesn't say peeled, it says cored and chopped. So that's where we're going with this. I'm going to make sure I have no stickers on them. So we can either pour them this way. So we're just going to stick our core in. And I'm not really good at this. It comes out crooked every time. So that's okay though. Go ahead and go all the way through it. Pull this out, and then you can just pop out your core. Easy peasy, right? So how cool is that? If you're like me and you don't get it perfectly straight, so you didn't really get your core, just stick it back in and try it again. Get out those crunchies. So we're gonna, maybe if I do it from the bottom, maybe I'll have a better result. Maybe I'm just not a very good at straightness person. So it's fun. Just stick it in there. That was a little better. Pop it, pull it, pop your core out. I know, you guys are dying at this, right? And it's really not as hard as I make it look. I'm just really trying to get it straight for the video. So you could do it this way, or you could do it, with the core and more. So you just place this kind of over the center of your core. I'm, again, not real good because I don't know why. I like to curl it down. So then you've got your wedges. So that's another way that we can do this. And now, whenever I'm doing apples, I always think of Janine. So Janine, if you're watching, know that I'm thinking of you, because that woman, she can probably not peel, but she can cut up an apple so stinking fast with just a paring knife. I know, it's crazy, and I'm just like, yeah, when I cut up an apple, you should not do this live ever, because I am crazy. I do not like, do you guys see how that didn't really, it still has like that part of the apple on there? Well, I don't like that. So I still have to go through, whenever I'm making apples for myself to eat, I will still go through and cut every single one of these. Cut that, I always call it the hard stuff. I cut that off because I don't like any of the hard stuff. Maybe it's a little OCD in me. Maybe I don't do it right. I don't know. So, but these are better. So I'll even do that with these guys. The idea of the core and more and all that jazz is so that you don't have to do that. And this one I did really good. So I'm going to show you guys. You see the insides? Not too shabby. Not too shabby. So this one, not as good. So we're going to still just cut out the crunchies, the hard stuff. And the dogs love it when I do this, though. And they're outside with Tony today. Tony's home, so they are all about being wherever Tony is. That is, oh, goodness, that's love. Those dogs do not like to be away from him ever. So really, I did pretty good with that one too. Somebody just messaged me because they're watching, and they're probably sending me their tips, and they're saying, Charisma, you are crazy. You do not have to do that. Or Charisma, if you're doing it wrong. I don't know. Or it's my mom just, sending me crazy stuff. Sometimes that's her best form of communication, is to send me a text or a personal message on Facebook, and then we're just like, Mom. Or she'll just make a comment on a post, and we love it. That's just Marty Mom. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and see how many apples we have. I'm going to move the apple greatness. Okay, so I don't really know how to use this scale. It's Anthony, so it's in grams. Let's put it in. Now I changed it to pounds, so we're going to see how much does our bowl weigh. Our bowl is 1.27. So somebody keep track of that. 1.27. Let's drop these apples in here. So we need it to be 4.27. So we have 3 pounds of apples. This many apples that we've done so far is 2.5 pounds. So we need 4.27. So we need another 2 pounds of apples. We're good. Somebody sent me a message again. It's like, do you guys all pay attention? No, just the people that are messaging me. They don't know that I'm live right now. Might have to invite them to my page. This is just fantastic. Twist it, pop it. Twist it, pop it. Twist it, pop it. You guys, I mean, seriously, this is fun. What else could you do with a cord apple? I have, just take the sticker off. I have seen people make like an apple dessert. So they core it, and then they just fill that inside with the butter and cinnamon and sugar. And my hands are getting kind of slippery, so now it's a little harder to pull that. So I'm going to grab a grippy. I don't know where I got these. I bet I got these at like a home shop. Goodness gracious. This apple does not want to cooperate and come out. It likes its core. And that's just me. So at home show, because they say K-guard, I'm like, I don't even know what that is. We do need to chop these up anyway, so we're just going to chop, and we'll get those hard parts out. Whoa, that's a big part of the apple. And I'm just trying to get this up to the 4.27, which will be the 3 pounds that we need. And then we can just kind of chop the apples a little bit more as needed. Sound good? All right, so hang out with me for a few minutes while I just continue to chop these apples. We are currently at 3.13, so we need about a pound more of apples. You probably don't have to be this precise, but you know, if you've got the scale and you're cutting apples anyway, why not? Besides, I've got all my friends and fans sitting here watching me. You know, it's probably you guys. You're probably commenting, and I can't see any of your darn comments, and so that's why I'm dinging. Okay, we're at 338, so we still need another pound of apples. So, for the record, this is a lot of apples. And I don't really know, I'm going to tell you straight up, I don't know what kind of, I've got some Honeycrisp apples, and I've got some, I know, right? Who's wasting Honeycrisp apples on applesauce? This is going to be the best applesauce ever. because I love Honeycrisp apples. But just like the kids, I think we all kind of go through our phases on what we're eating. Like I also have a banana over here turning brown. I don't know why I'm being so weak. I'm telling you, it's because my hands are getting wet from these apples. Did you see that? I'm shooting apple cores. Oh my gosh. That reminds me of the next project I want to build. So I saw that a lot of people got squirrel feeders, or, you know, that was like the big rage. Everybody's making, you know, squirrel feeders or little squirrel picnic tables and putting their little ear corn on there for their squirrely friends. And if you have been on my personal page, you know that I just am not a fan of the squirrels, because I fill my bird feeders, especially when I was working from home. I'd fill up my bird feeders and, you know, they'd kind of be my company. You know, I love watching the birds come and eat and all that. But the squirrels would come and steal their food and drive me insane. So at first I was like, I got the paintball gun. And I was trying to shoot them, but that didn't work. So I ran out of paintballs real fast. That, and usually just me opening the door would be enough to, they'd run off and come back 5 seconds later when I closed the door, right? So then I tried the BB gun, but BBs and me weren't friends. Again, had the same issue. So then I got stealth-like on them. I got myself some water guns, and so then I'd squirt with water. Well, now my thing is that I want to build. I'm going to build me a squirrel catapult. Yep, so that's what I want to build next. So I'm sorry, it'll be humane. Tony goes, yeah, but the idea is to get rid of them. Okay, we're at 4.9, so we're going to do one more apple. You know, he goes, they're just going to come back. They're going to love the free ride, whatever, blah, 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 blah. It's like, so you need to catapult them into something. Like catapult them into a swimming pool or, you know, a fire pit. Yeah, I know, that's my husband. We're going to check those guys in 1 second. Let me get this apple done. I'm sure it's not going to hurt them any. So, like, well, I don't know about all that. And, you know, I do actually have the drawing plans and everything. I'm serious about this. I'm not a crazy person. Well, maybe. So I've got the plans for this, and it says that you're supposed to put it on your fence post. Well, I don't have a fence post, so I don't know how I'm gonna. Oh, 4.45. So we're slightly over. So we are good to go, kids. We are gonna get these guys chopped up. We're gonna add our 1/4 cup of water. Let me check the brownies that aren't brownies. They're our carrot cake muffins. So I'm gonna grab my cake tester. I love this guy. I'm gonna stick it in the oven here. And then one more. They're not really gooey, but there's a little goo on there. So we're just gonna let them cook for another minute or so. I'm actually just gonna turn off the oven so while we get the blender started, okay? So, oh goodness, don't mind my sniffling nose. It is totally allergy season. 1/4 cup of water. Right to there. You guys see it? I'm adding it to the blender right over here. Okay. Just for fun, y'all get to have a new view of my kitchen. We're just going to move right on over here. On out, right? You're like, oh, Charisma, we've seen this. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I miss you. Oh, Holly's on. She's watching me. Oh, Holly Golightly, I love you. So anyway, sorry for the slippage there. So we're on the blender. I've added my 1/4 cup of water. Now we're going to add our 3 pounds of apples that are cored and chopped. So again, some of these are chopped more than others, some are not. So I'm just going to chop these a little bit more as I throw them in. So I don't know, I maybe I have to drop you guys to get to see your comments. Just kidding. So this is really gonna fill up our blender. And then, oh goodness. Goodness. And we're gonna stick it on the jam setting. Oh my gosh, those muffins smell so good. And seriously, I don't think we're gonna fit 3 pounds of apples in here. And you guys saw me. I weighed these suckers. Look at this. Maybe we have to add some as it goes, but this bowl is so full of apples. I don't know how. I mean, unless I'm supposed to dice them up really small. But that's the beauty of this blender. I mean, you guys have seen me make peanut butter, right? Is that I don't have to do that. But I'm not going to get 3 pounds of apples in the blender. Just ain't no way. Ah, my hair is like going crazy everywhere. That's okay. Whatever's left over, I'll throw out to the critters. So shh, don't tell my husband. He does not like it when I throw the food out to the critters. Oh, but speaking of critters, so he was out there with the pups today. They're all just hanging out outside doing chores and whatnot, cleaning the gutters because those trees are dropping all that stuff, that brown, like springy looking stuff. Oh, it's all over my deck right now. I'm like, argh! And he's like, oh, all of them do it. But anyway, so they were out there. He's cleaning the gutters or doing something in the driveway. And the pups were just hanging out. And all of a sudden, Pumpkin sees it and goes flying after the little red fox that was at the bottom of the driveway. So, oh, I miss my little red fox. All right, lid. We're going to put the lid on. We've got about this much of our apples left, but I don't think I can fit another one in there. Turn on. Oh, where's my directions? And I know that this is all it calls for. Seriously, 3 pounds of apples, cored and chopped, 1/4 cup of water. And then we're just going to turn it to the jam setting and press the wheel to start. Whoops. Jam. Press. Dawn, I will call you back. So right now we are making applesauce, my friends. So there we go. It's going to heat it up. It's going to mash it down. We are cooking applesauce. Let's go check on our muffins. Sound good? Yay! And we'll feed those to the critters. I'm going to move you guys back to where you were so we can pop our muffins right out here. I know, just ignore my mess. You guys weren't here when I made it. It's going to take a while for those bad boys to cook down. I'm going to get my shark weed mitts. Baby shark doo 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 doo. Oh, sorry. You just have to do that sometimes. Pretty sure these bad boys are done. Oh, so pretty. Look. Yes. So then you'd let them cool for a few minutes. The nice thing is they should pop right out. So I usually let them cool for a few minutes and then I take them out, dump them out, whatever. But just for you, we're going to try one of these bad boys. Hands are still a little sticky from touching all those apples, so a little bit of sanitizer and a woohoo! And because somebody needs to get back on the Weight Watchers wagon because she's gained 9 pounds. I know, right? Seriously, this is crazy because I worked really hard to lose. I was up to 20 and now it looks like I'm back to 11. Oh, I know, right? So, woo, look at that. Ooh, I feel like I'm in your life. So I'm going to come and show you guys. Look, isn't that just steamy yummelish? So, and then I just grabbed my butter spray because, I mean, the butter spray is nice because you're just getting exactly what you want. And it's so hot. But they're so good. And you don't even need the butter spray. I might leave that out. They're perfect. They're yummy. All right, Kate. My mouth is on fire. I think my jam, my applesauce is gonna probably take about an hour to do its thing to cook. So it goes down. It might take longer. I don't know. But the nice thing is I can just leave it in the blender and go do my thing. And so I will post pictures in the comments when it's done and let you know how it turned out. All right. So once about like 30 minutes before it's all done, it'll say add and it'll beep at me. And that's when I know it's time to add my cinnamon. I think, and I'll tell you, 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. That's it. Apples and cinnamon, done. And then if you're a canner, you can just can it and go. All right. Anyway, I'll let you know how it turns out. Thanks for watching. Everybody have a fantastic Sunday.